Hey, what's happening? This is Shawn, Wallace, your digital asset king, and I'm super excited for this one. I'm going to be bringing out a really great special guest. We're just going to have a conversation here for a little bit. Want to bring some value, and I'm just excited about how collaborations really work. This is a collaboration. It's a student, it's a mentee, and now actually a business partner. I'm just excited to be able to work with her. And I just wanted to bring this out to really create some content to share the power of collaborations and the power of just what I've come to find of travel. I've always wanted to be able to travel more. Well, I'm showing people, I found someone, where actually found me, on how to really start to create a residual income. If you know about me and my journey, I'm really big on family legacy keys, digital assets, most importantly, definitely residual income, right? So I want to just have this conversation, bring out this highly powerful woman, Miss Caldwell, and just really introduce herself and I just wanted to have a conversation, have her tell her story. That's what it's all about. So if you don't know her, you're going to get to know her. I'm excited to be able to work with her. And with that being said, let's bring her on out. And we have some good stuff coming up. I wanted to talk to her because you have a good workshop coming up I'm helping you with. And I want to just take people just through this journey. Because before me meeting you, let's just talk about that. What was your journey before me meeting you? But I just wanted to just bring you out. I'm excited to be able to just partner with you. Like I say, have a conversation. And I'm learning a lot about your tenacity and your selflessness and just wanting to really help other people win. And when it comes to network marketing, and then we can talk about this though, I come from that space, so I honor it and respect it a lot. And I seen something in you that when you were coming through in my inbox, I was like, oh man, here's another person, there's another network marketer pitching me on something. And I quickly was able to realize through your conversation, like, no, this woman's different here. So I'm excited to have you as a friend, mentor, is what I'm learning from you as well. But yeah, how you doing today?
I am super grateful. It's a pleasure to be here. You know, our steps are truly ordered, even on social media. I say that a lot, and I really, really mean that. It is a pleasure to be here today. I'm excited to share my journey and actually what led me to you. You know, for the last 8 years, I have been in this amazing industry of network marketing. And I happened upon the industry at the age of 35. And at that time, Shawn or Mr. Wallace, you know, I was a stressed out medical office manager in Asheville, North Carolina. You know, I was not looking to add anything else to my plate, as most people are not looking to add another task to their busy life, right?
Absolutely.
But at 35, I was first introduced to the industry of network marketing by my parents. You know, a medical doctor and a registered nurse introduced me to this industry. And at that time, I met a nurse who was earning $20,000 a month residually.
Wow.
And I said, wait, what? Whatever she is doing, I need to do that because it takes me about 6 months to earn $20,000. So we definitely are not playing on the same field, right? And so fast forward, I worked that business for about 5 years, and I watched her income grow to $40,000 a month residually. I learned a lot, and I gained great respect for the industry of network marketing. Well, fast forward 10 years later, introduced to it again, but this time in the industry of travel. And so I'm excited because at that time I wasn't looking for a business. I was just looking for the best way to travel. Needless to say, I found it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's one thing that really piqued me. I know when you came into my inbox, and you're leveraging some tools. We probably talk about that. But one thing that really stuck out was just that. I was like, okay, she really wanted to collaborate. That's what you said. It really pointed out, that stuck out to me, that I don't normally hear from most network marketers. Like, yeah, I think let's see if there's some room for collaboration. And I was like, well, you're speaking my language. Like, I love collaborating and things of that nature. If there's some things of value. But another thing that you said that really stuck out to me, I remember it, because, you know, you said something. I was like, wow, I'm in this space. But you said if a person can travel 2 times a year, it's worth them owning a business. I was like, yo, that makes a lot of sense. And then you also said something up to the nature like a person also needs to travel to release stress. I get the vacation thing, but I was just going through a recent divorce, things of this nature, and I understood the magnitude of really just, finding self again. But when you said like travel really is a health benefit, beyond just a vacation, I was like, I've never heard that before. And I was like, I need both of those things right now in my life. You got my ear, because who wouldn't want to travel? So I just want to say that those two things really caught me in the collaboration, and from there, we can talk about that. But let's talk about a little bit more of that. So you got a lot more things going on. You've traveled, maybe in that industry. What's been your journey in that? What's made you keep going? I know you've been doing this for how long now? 8 years
Been
or
involved now for 8 years. Eight
right?
years.
Okay.
I happened upon it again on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Social media is out here changing lives, making people a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And so I met a complete stranger 8 years ago on Facebook, simply reached out to her thinking I was about to book a cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me the business. She said, if I can show you how to make this money, would you be interested? I said, absolutely.
Got it.
She put me onto game
Got
and
it.
got involved and immediately started learning how to leverage the travel industry to create wealth.
So
I realized that, it came back full circle. 10 years later, the same industry, full circle.
100%. So talk to us about that. One of my favorite words is leverage. So how does that look like for you? And then how do you share that with other people? How do you? I'm new to it, right? When you said it, I was like, that's cool. I got it from the perspective. I understood it from, write off things of nature. But how does a person really leverage travel? How does that work?
Absolutely. It was about becoming a business owner. It was about investing. It was about being able to leverage a business that was already designed.
Mm-hmm.
I am a brick and mortar baby. I watched my parents open a medical practice at the age of 7.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And I've been a part of that my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And so to be able to tap into a $9 trillion industry, I believe it was 8 trillion at that time, right? So to be able to tap into a $8 trillion industry for a $200 investment, to me was a no-brainer.
Okay.
I was coming out of a medical practice where our overhead, Shawn, was $60,000 a month.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
With no residual income, right? Mm-hmm. So to be able to tap into the travel industry, gain 8 streams of income, oh yes. For $200, it was a no-brainer for me. Now, what's funny though, is that when I was introduced to the business, I didn't even have $200 and I was working a full-time job. So you talk about stress. Yes, people are stressed because they don't have enough money. We talked about that earlier, right? They don't have enough money.
Right.
And they don't see a way out.
Right.
See a way out. And so we actually have found it. And, the big word is leverage. And the other word is residual. And those just happen to be the secrets of the wealthy.
It really is. Yeah, 100%. Talk to me about that, because I like that, but a $200 investment. If I know your numbers right, and maybe you can quote me if I'm wrong, but did you turn that into 6 figures if I'm not wrong? And I think over multiple 6 figures if I'm more correct. Is that right?
Absolutely. I've been able to turn a $200 investment into over $200,000 on a part-time basis. And it has been an amazing journey.
Mm-hmm. Right. What would you say has been the biggest reason or, foundational point for that? Like how was you able to turn that? Because you said something else that was important. You didn't have $200 when you had a full-time job. So you took a leap of faith. So how did you do that? How did that happen? Right. I know you leverage the industry. I know you're in a good travel piece, but what did that really look like? I know you talked to me about belly to belly. You like to help people because I'm an online person, right? I know that's one of the things that we're collaborating on, but I want to kind of help people understand what that looked like, because you're coming to me now just wanting to, we call it scale, but it's really putting some systems and process in place. I want people to understand that progression, because I've said that you became a master networker. So I want people to understand, like, really, what does that look like? What were some of those things that you really had to do after you signed up? I know this couldn't have been easy, right? So let's getting all the smoke out of the way, all the hoorah. How did you do that? Like, what was the biggest thing that made you be able to create that kind of leverage off of $200?
Well, first, like I said, I didn't have the money. So payday, thankfully, payday was coming up, right? So it just meant for me, I needed to execute that budget that I was familiar with. I needed to stay out of the mall that week and, get my money ready for the investment. And it looked like me starting to just share the information. I was willing to share. I was never I was never taught to be a gatekeeper. I wanted other people to know how they could make money as well. I wanted other people to know how they could travel intelligently. And so I started, sharing the information just out of the fun of it, right? I had seen this industry before, but I had never experienced it in the travel space. And so I was just pretty much, like we like to say, ignorance on fire.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to put people on, if you will, to the opportunity. And so within 6 months, though, I found myself unemployed. We were actually on, right, that was out of left field, right?
Right. But that's good, because that's why I wanted to get at it, so people understand that there was some grit that you had to put in. And then here, go ahead and finish that. Here's some more adversary or hurdle that you had to overcome. So yeah, go ahead. What happened?
Well, to be honest, at the time I'm 45, I'm learning about this business. At the age of 40, I had started praying. I was, again, a stressed out medical office manager. Dad is 20 years older than me. He's in the prime of his life. He loves what he does. He's not thinking about retiring. Meanwhile, I'm secretly praying, like, I cannot do this another 20 years. Mm-hmm. I don't know, God, how you're going to work this out for me. I don't know what that looks like. But 5 years later, our family business was on the verge of closing. And it was a beautiful exit strategy. It was beautiful. My dad went on to work for the medical industry. My mom retired. My brother and I had to find another source of employment. We're in our 40s, right? And so we had to work. So it just worked out that, I learned about this business investment 6 months before I lost my job. And when I lost my job, I had made up my mind that I was not going back to another job.
Talk to him. Yes,
so
yes.
It was fight or flight. Yeah. And for me, I had to fight. Mm-hmm. And what that meant for me was living on a budget, a tight budget. What that meant for me was thinking outside the box. What that meant for me was being willing to live with complete strangers. I was blessed to have a house. I converted a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home into a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, and I rented out 2 rooms. I converted the den into a bedroom. Wow. And I had 2 roommates. Those 2 roommates covered my mortgage. I drove for Uber and Lyft as I was building my business.
Wow. See, that makes a lot of sense. Those are the things I think you really need to hear. You turned a apartment into a triplex.
A house into a whole eat, work, sleep home. Let me tell you a little bit about it, because I appreciate having this conversation. Like, it was an eat, work, sleep house. It was a home for entrepreneurs. Like, it was not the home for parties. It was not the home for you to have Bay to come and spend the night. No. It was not that type of home. You sleep there, you eat there, and that's it. Right. And it wasn't for everybody. Wow. It wasn't for everybody, but it worked for me. And I was very upfront with people, like, are you sure this is what you want? Because, it's not okay for friends to come over. If you want to meet your friends, you got to meet them at Starbucks or down the street. But this is not that place, right? And so that worked, and I did that for a couple of years.
Wow. That's impressive. Yeah, your environment is everything. It's like the number one thing that needs to be in place when it comes to like getting stuff in order and making things happen. It's like actual environment dictates literally like 90% of the result. Literally. That's interesting. That's very interesting to hear. See, I didn't even know that. That's sweet. So that's good to really hear, because we were just talking about this, especially specifically in network marketing. It was one of the things where we talk about this though too. This is why I see something especially in you, because I don't want to dog network marketing, because that's my foundation. But I understand, like, everyone, we just talk about it. Everyone in network, it's not even network marketing, period. Let's just say entrepreneurship. Everyone's not willing to do the work.
That part.
Right? It doesn't matter what business it is or whatever. It doesn't matter that. It's just everyone's not willing to do the work. So it's very good to hear that you set that down, and that's where that success comes from. That's how you were able to turn $200 into multiple 6 figures. It wasn't just travel; it was that determination to make it happen with that vehicle that just happens to be a good vehicle in a good industry. So it probably made it even easier when you got focused, because who doesn't want to travel? So that's awesome. So I just want to kind of bring you out again, just kind of give that foundation, if you will. I seen that. I didn't even know some of that. I probably there's still some more of that story. I'm sure there is to be told. But I was interested in helping you take it to the next level. Let's talk about that transition to help them understand on how we got to this workshop. I wanted to let them know about that's coming up for you. I'm excited about for you. Just your growth, of being this master at helping people win in the travel game, showing them how to win and leading the way. But now you found yourself at another crossroads, if you will, of like how do you impact more lives? So do you want to talk to me about that? Because it's like I can share it from my point of view, but that's how we kind of met. And I was like, well, I was trying to sell you my services. Not trying. I think I did a good job at selling it, but it was like we had to figure out something there.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And so I guess there comes a point in your career where you realize there is more. I'm not equipped or I'm not designed or built to watch other people win with the same investment that I've made. And so at some point you realize, okay, one, you must focus. It's practically impossible to work multiple things and become very successful. So I had to make a decision to go all in.
Mm.
And once I did that, I decided that I needed to learn how to grow more, reach more people, as you stated, and being able to reach people online. We were actually able to build a travel business through the global pandemic.
Wow.
Our team grew during the global pandemic.
Wow.
That was mind-boggling even for me. I had business partners crisscrossing the country during the global pandemic. I traveled during the global pandemic, right? And so, there comes a point where you realize that you deserve it too, right? You deserve success as well. And, it's a progression. It truly is a progression to realize, one, how many people are in the world. I had that aha moment in Asheville, probably my first year and a half in the business, where I realized, okay, you're complaining it's not happening fast enough, but Kim, how many people are you talking to every day? How many people are actually living in your city? Like, I like to raise that awareness, and that was super important to me because working as a medical office manager, people came to us. They looked for us. They needed us. So I had no reason to know how many people were in Asheville, North Carolina at the time. But as I was building this business and I was looking for business partners or looking for people to reach and to educate about this industry, I had to open my eyes to the real opportunity. I realized in Charlotte, North Carolina alone, 2 million people.
Wow.
I realized, in the United States, the population, I had no reason to know that before. And so going or reaching out, actually, let me say this, being forced to go online during the global pandemic, learning how to use Zoom during a global pandemic, learning how to host a Zoom. We hosted Zooms twice a day during the global pandemic. That was all new to me. But it was either that or go get a job. It's always been figure it out or go back to work for another 20 years. And to me, that's a no-brainer, no matter how hard it gets.
That just hit different. My God, it sounds like a prison sentence or something almost. Say that again. She said, even the global pandemic, it was about figuring it out or go get a job for another 20 years.
And that doesn't mean that the thoughts didn't come. And that doesn't mean that the thoughts don't come today. But, my parents, during the slow season or the off season, before I really understood the power of being online, that there does not have to be an off season online. 100%. But before I understood that, when it was a slow season and I'm thinking about going back to work, I had parents that said, Kim, you've been out now for probably at that time 3-4 years. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna get through this, And so I've been blessed to be unemployable for the last 8 years. And so, as you want to grow, you start to investigate, right? Okay, how can I work smarter and not harder? You know, and I'm heavy on health. And so I'll be honest, you know, what led me to you was that I needed to find a way to generate leads. Without no leads, there's no business. And what I began to understand is that people can have a business, but if they don't know how to market that business is not going to last. And so I was on my cell phone working my business and starting to experience some health issues, holding a cell phone a certain way, right? People don't understand carpal tunnel and posture and being behind the desk all the time. All of that stuff, you know, is a reality. And I don't know if that's sidebar or not, but
no, it's not really.
I had to find a way to be healthy and to create wealth. And so that actually led me to a tool, right? That led me to you. It led me to a tool that allowed me to identify like-minded individuals, and I hopped in your inbox. But truth be told, I've been hopping in inboxes for the last 8 years.
Wow. That's amazing. I'm so glad you told that transitional story of how you were already having success offline, and that global pandemic did change. You know, I'm sure we've all still receiving some effects from that in certain ways. But hearing that transition, it happened for a lot of us, forced us online. I happened to already be an online person, so I didn't, in that nature, it was interesting. Didn't feel a big difference. I was already online in that aspect, but that's interesting and good to hear. Because I think it leads me to my next question and kind of like show how you got here. Can you tell a little bit about maybe what has you already spoke to one of them? I don't want to miss that. You was actually saying that as a sidebar. Absolutely not. That's one of the things that I love about when I was talking to you. Health, wealth. Health is the wealth, really, right? We don't want to miss that. We be chasing the money or making the money or whatever, but we can't do anything with it if we ain't in a good state, right?
Absolutely.
Spend it all back on our health just to get back right anyway. So it's like get the priorities right. So I hear what you're saying. Absolutely. So it's cool that a health, if you will, sent you really to me. If I get the lead aspect, but it was really the underlying component of it that's really don't want people to miss. You were focusing on how to create more leverage so you can be healthy as you're going to grow your business, create more leverage. You know what I'm saying? You know you need leads, but you still need to do it in a manner that was you're not breaking your neck from leaning over looking at a phone all day. So I mean, I like I want people to miss that, you know. So that's pretty interesting, and I picked up on that when you reached out. I do want to talk about in that tool, like that was one way, but this is all new to you. Again, you were new. You're not a techie. It's another reason
at all.
You're a client of mine. You know, where I decided to partner with you to help you grow. This is because you're non-techie. So he was my perfect customer. You know, so I want to talk about that. You were doing things that a techie couldn't do. You're on Zoom. You're using new tools. You're stretching yourself again in these elements that Ms. Caldwell does. But talk to me. What has been your biggest hurdle prior to meeting me, outside of the tool? Because that still couldn't have been easy. You're doing stuff now that's not in your comfort zone. You're belly to belly, and I know that. So now, what has been that prior to meeting me? Because I want to transition so we can, our closing, because we're going to invite them to your next coming workshop, which I'm excited about. You can still help people do what you do now. Now you can stay in your zone, right? You've been waiting to get here for a long time, but you can just show up, do your thing, and I'm excited to help you with that. But prior to that, because I want to help people understand how I've been able to help you, they can see the value and how this is going to help you make a more impact. Because you've stretched yourself to some tool, got you to the digital mastery, man, which is phenomenal. But what has been your biggest hurdle, though, prior to meeting me, so people can understand, okay, you haven't even seen the result yet. I want people to know that, too. You haven't seen, outside of coaching, but you haven't really seen any monetary result, just to be transparent here. So what has been the biggest thing that you've seen prior to not even seeing a monetary result, knowing that that's coming through this process? And but before you answer that, my question also has been, what's been your biggest hurdle in this techie world? Trying to figure that out prior to meeting me. That's my question.
Absolutely. And so over the last 8 years, figuring out my life and what that looks like and meeting some amazing people along the way, began to learn about funnels. I began to learn about attraction marketing. I began to learn about leads, and just realizing like it's a whole new world online, and realizing that, I don't know if aversion is the correct word, but I tend to shut down mentally when it comes to technology, which I'm not bragging about. It's just my reality. I thought I was actually the last person on Facebook. When did Facebook come out?
Like 2000, goodness, one or something crazy. Yeah.
I was like fighting to get on Facebook, but I'm glad that I got on when I did, whatever year that was. But I thought at that point I was the last one to join the Facebook world. And so what I have learned is that people who are techie, they think that it's really easy. Even with the systems, they say drag and drop. I was a part of some product, said, click, drag and drop. And I'm like, I'll try it. It's not working and it's too much. And so, that has been my problem, right? And trying to learn what people who are built for technology know was very challenging for me. And so on my journey, I understood the power of a funnel. I understood talking to a particular avatar. I realized that you go from trying to reach everybody to reaching one person, right? And you cater a message. I understood those things, but I also understood that there were tools that could help. And so I just could never seem to get it. Period. And then I didn't want to. And then I told myself at 40, anything that I didn't like, I wasn't doing. So now I'm 45 and you trying to still make me do something that I don't want to do. No. And so what I appreciate was the fact that you offered the done for you. Like there are some people say it's done for you, but it's not done for you. And so that's not working for me and people like me. And so what I have come to understand is that there are people who have amazing products and amazing businesses, but they don't have the bandwidth to do those things. And so their amazing business, their amazing product cannot reach the world. So we need people who understand our strength and not play on our weakness. And so it was just, I like to say again, my steps were ordered on social media, but I also learned the real power of collaboration and leverage. So I'm grateful that the message that I conveyed was attractive enough for you to invest, right, into the collaboration. So now you're doing what you do, I'm doing what I do, and we're showing people the strength in collaboration truly being the new currency. Because I've heard that, but I haven't seen that. And so right. What I appreciate about it is now, I don't want to get too spiritual, but the word becoming flesh, you know what I'm saying, and dwelling among the people. Because these are serious times.
Right, 100%. Right, 100%. So no, I get that. And that's what I'm excited about. And I think it brings me to, let's talk about your upcoming workshop, because that leads me to, yes, that's what I've seen. I think from people who've seen this conversation, people who've been following you for a while, people who know me and myself, I think it's pretty evident on why I would want to partner and want to work with someone that's at your caliber and yourself, and hopefully vice versa, right? And I want to show them that. In closing, because I know you have some things to get to. I think this has been phenomenal. I actually learned a little bit more about your story. Told you this would be super cool. Told you I couldn't stump you on your own journey. learn a little bit more about it. I want to close with this. Let's close with, I want to share with people on my notepad. I want to share with them a little bit about what I've taken you through in this process. I just want to bring up the notepad really quick. Just to give people an understanding of some education of what we've done, and then we want to invite them into our, or I want to say yours, but it's ours because I'm more behind the scenes. I'm excited to get to learn from you of like again how you've been doing this, and I'm ready to travel for that sake. But let's get into what we've done and then what this is looking like for those who may want to follow this process, but more importantly, know because we're documenting this, right? We're documenting on both sides on how I was able to help Caldwell, but most importantly on how she's going to be able to impact the world. More importantly, from having more structure to grow her vehicle through travel. So if we be able to like schedule out a plan, that's what we're doing right now is schedule like our marketing plan. She's going to be able to now take her customers through a more systematic customer flow. She knows who she's talking to through her ideal niche. She has a lot of different brands, but this one specifically is her residual income builder, helping people be able to build a residual income leveraging travel. That excited me. You just heard her story. Oh my God, it's a phenomenal story. I'm sure there's more in there that she can share, but it's just the I mean, you couldn't want to be behind someone who's more powerful and driven to help more people win with that kind of determination, right? And still going, figuring it out, breaking through the tech world as a woman, I might add, you know what I'm saying, right? So that's not easy to do at all, right? So that's pre-offer. So she has a sweet offer that we're going to be sharing with you here now. And she's outlined some different offers to impact more people. And I'll tell you something, because I'm a high ticket person. I'm not going to tell you a lie. It's hard getting this lady to sell something high ticket. So you got someone who really cares about people and where they're at in their finances and things of this nature. And I'm not trying to be funny. I just like to make money. I just kind of keep it real. But I can't say that she doesn't. It's just hard to get her to sell something to someone for a very high price, which is cool. So she's very out for that. I say that to say I've never seen one with such a heart. She's going to be delivered with more confidence now. I can see it coming out of you now. That's what I'm super excited to help you do is deliver more confidence, get that brand out there, but that tech setup. Doesn't that feel good not to have to worry about that tech setup? And you asked me, do you need a script? So I wanted to show you the setup that she's been going through because something's exciting is going to be happening here. We didn't need no script today. I told you, when you just being yourself. Did you need a script today? Did you need a script?
I did not.
I told you. Now we can focus on these traffic and sales. So that's what we're creating today is some content, right? You're going to have more conversations. I'm sure that's going to happen just from this content here, right? You're already having more conversations just from using the tools and stuff you have. Now you're going to be able to have more conversations, some of the things we're setting behind the scenes of automations that we have, because now we're going to be able to get these clients. Now you can focus over here. I just want you to see this. I told you everything we do is going to be a coaching session, even in our promo reel, right? Still learning. Because now you can focus over here because all this stuff is done. This is what collaboration did for you. You didn't even know. It was like Karate Kid happening. All this was happening, and you didn't even know. Because you have a team in place.
That part. We need a really big team. We got some really big rings. I think it's a really big team. We need some really big rings, something like that. That's the songs we play at our convention.
100%.
You know that song? Do you know that song?
I don't know the song, but I'm going to get with it. We're going to play it, though.
That song?
You see the big difference. So that's why I collabed with you, and that's what collaborations do. And now I'm excited to share with them your upcoming workshop. So let's just talk to them about that. We put together a workshop, right? She's transitioning into the residual income builder. We're going to be sharing with you on how, she kind of shared with you a little bit of it today, didn't you? We're going to go a little bit more in depth on how she avoided living from paycheck to paycheck to creating at least $1,000 per month with the travel business without any previous experience. I'm going to share with you a little bit on how we're able to take her intellectual property and package it up into 3 simple steps that anyone can leverage the travel industry to build a $1,000 residual income per month. So we're going to be going over that on the next upcoming masterclass. We're going to leave a link here. The website for it is project100k.info, just like it sounds, project 100, the word, the letters, or the numbers, I should say, 100k.info. We'll leave a link here. But as soon as you come over here, just put your name, email, details in. We're super excited. It's free. I told you, she don't even want to sell the workshop. Normally, I would sell the workshop for a low ticket. Look at it. See, I ain't gonna tell them, but tell them about why you're excited about finally being able to. I didn't mean to throw you underneath the bus. I'll be doing that every now and then, but I gotta tell them how real you are. That's why I'm passionate about working with you. To where we want to let people come up in here so they can see on how to do it. That's how passionate you are. I want you to give them some closing words on why they need to attend this workshop, why you're passionate about it. And I told you can just now let your team help you just get on the platform and do what you do. So tell them now why you're excited about it. You can finally kind of start to see how you can help impact more people on this masterclass coming up here in the next few days.
Wow, that's such a loaded question. So many people. Matter of fact, let me just share this. I heard just the other day that 80% of the population hate their job. Period. 80%. I said, wow. And then I think about at age 40 where I was, and I was tired. Mm-hmm. A lot of jobs, you're working 2 and 3 positions and getting paid one salary, right? It's a lot. And what I realized is that you only live once. This is not a practice run. This is not a dry run. This is it. And I believe that we deserve to live well. So, each one, reach one, teach one. Mm-hmm. Each one, reach one, teach one. Freely you have received, freely give. Now I know that we've paid, but to whom much is given, much is required. And that's one of the things that I remind often when I realize that I may be giving more than I am receiving in return right now. Mm-hmm. But I also realize that there has to be one who's willing to lead the way, and there has to be one that's willing to go the extra mile. And I believe that's a calling. I believe that's, that we have been chosen and have answered the call. And so, I'm just grateful for the exposure, and I'm grateful to expose other people. I was exposed to the industry. I was exposed to travel. Oh my gosh. Before this travel business, Shawn, I was stuck in South Carolina. When I tell you my life has changed, man, I've been to Paris. I've been to Belize. I've been to St. Croix. I've been to Hawaii. I've been on Royal Caribbean. I've been to Jamaica, to the Bahamas. Like, when I tell you my life looks different.
Yes.
And I didn't even see it coming. Some people don't even know what's about to happen. They don't even know that their life is about to change. But if it can happen for me, it can happen for them.
100%.
And I'm looking at the lives of others who paved the way and have shown me that there is 6 figures a month residually available. We're just getting started.
Just getting started. That's fantastic. You definitely want to attend to get more of how she can help you and your family create, my goodness, just legacy, create residual income, travel, health. Like it's a lot. Definitely need to show up. It's free. Only thing that it's going to cost you is your time right now. And I think it's definitely going to be worth it. It's going to be coming up. Just get the details. We're going to be doing these pretty often. So just get the details, project100k.info. And yes, definitely be joining us. I'm going to be learning myself. I look forward to learning how you're able to leverage the $200 and do your super impact of creating 6 figures. And now I'm going to be able to do more impact. And I'll be able to share with people, those who want to learn on how you're leveraging automations and things of this nature to make that impact. We'll throw a little bit of a bonus in there for those who are the builders who are ready to run with you. We're going to give them access to something special we've been working on to help you create that duplication for people who want to join you on that journey. So I'm excited. Well, that's all I really had. I think this was definitely a good interview. Thank you for coming out and sharing this. I'm going to get this to you as well, so that way you can share this with your team or your respective audience as well to help them understand your mission, your purpose, your passion about why you do what you do. So with that being,
I appreciate it. I'm excited about the journey. This is just the beginning.
Absolutely. Well, I don't have anything to really say. That was a great closing word. I just want to make sure we're giving people a reason to come check you out on your first workshop online. Now, mind you, this is someone who's non-techie, y'all. She's finna be up there and she can just stay there and do her thing. That's what I'm excited about. This can work for anybody. So that was one of her biggest things. So that's why it's been a privilege to see you do your thing and set this platform up to help you be able to make more impact. So that being said, Kim, congratulations. Look forward to seeing you on the journey and your growth, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Peace.